Okay, so I thought I would do a video on my cardio of walking home. So, I've just come out of work and at the moment I've had a little bit of a walk, but I'm breathing deeply, breathing normally. I'm getting a good oxygenated blood flow to the system, to the muscular system, to move and to walk. Okay, so normally most of us, when we're sedentary, we can do that. Now here's the thing that we need to remember as we start speeding up, and bearing in mind I'm going to be talking, so I'm speeding up, and all of a sudden I'm starting to breathe a little heavier. Now the reason for this is, as I walk, I'm starting to use the oxygenated blood. Now the way it works, and I'm not going to go into it too technically, but the oxygen goes into the nose and the mouth, into the lungs, enters the bloodstream, and goes to the heart. The heart beats the oxygen around in the blood, supplying energy to the muscles to move. So now, as you can hear, while I'm talking as well, it's taking a little bit more effort to do that, but I can still talk. But because my oxygen is now being used a little bit more, I'm having to breathe deeper. Now this is what I'm saying about breathing and oxygen burning body fat. The problem is as we train, the body uses oxygenated blood, the heart is pumping faster, supplying that oxygen to the muscles, and the body's thinking, oh, I need to get more in. So the automatic reaction of ourselves is, right, need to start breathing faster. Now the problem with breathing faster is that we don't intake as much oxygen, because what we do then is we breathe to the top of the diaphragm rather than breathing in right down to the bottom. We breathe into the topmost parts of the diaphragm, which means that our lungs are not being utilised as much as they should do. If you visualise a couple of airbags inside your chest, and as you breathe in, fills with oxygen, then that fills up. Now, as you can probably hear, whilst I am talking and walking, I've taken that deep lung, and suddenly I'm actually being able to talk a little bit better, even though I'm keeping up a sustained effort, because I've actually increased my blood oxygen. Therefore, the energy levels are a little higher. So if I do that again, I can walk a little bit faster, and I'm using the oxygen more effectively. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about oxygen flow whilst exercising. Now, the reason why I'm saying you can't really do that and take in the amounts of oxygen is because if you sit there, as one person asked, and you sit with oxygen tanks and breathe in that amount, your body has no need for it. It's like, well, what am I supposed to do with this? It's kind of like overfilling your car with fuel. It's going to start dribbling out the fuel tank if that was physically possible. Okay? So, what we need to do, now as I come to a hill, which I'm going to show you here, whilst I'm talking, I'm going to be keeping up this rate of walking, and now, as you can tell, my efforts increased. So therefore, I am now using more oxygenated blood to power my body to walk up the hill. So therefore, I have to focus on breathing in more to oxygenate the blood to get more oxygen into the body so that I can keep the same amount. This is why oxygen is so important in the role of burning body fat, because you need oxygen rich blood to burn body fat and to expel it into the air. That's how it works. So now, as I'm walking fast, like I said, you can hear the effort exerted. The more effort exerted, the harder the body has to work. So therefore, the harder it works, the habit of the average person, unless you train specifically, like I said, is to shallow breathe. So now I've stopped and I'm waiting to cross the road. My energy levels, my energy output is going down. So therefore, my oxygen level in the blood is refilling back up again. Now as I put a little extra burst of speed again, I start using that. Therefore, in order to get a good fat burn when you are doing cardio, whether it be sustained or, as I said, sprint training, running for 100 meters, walking back, replenishing the oxygenated blood whilst you walk back and rest, you still need to be taking in the same amounts through training as you do, or as much as you can, when you are not working as hard, if that makes sense. It's basically as much oxygen as you can while training under exertion so that you burn it. You burn the body fat. I hope that explains it a little.